Yo, what up, everybody? It's me, Flark. I got another entry in the Coach Flarkness series. It was pretty heavily requested on the DK Discord for me to continue this. It's not quite as popular as my guide videos, of course, for obvious reasons. But if you guys like it, that's definitely something I can continue doing. And I like the idea of having a series that goes on the channel, and this could be that. Just make sure to help me out. Toss a like, comment, share it, the standard YouTube creator things that people tell you to do, because that does help me a lot. And hopefully then we can kind of get some attention to the series and get more different types of videos and get more people interested in submitting their different types of gameplays. I'd like to see some battlegrounds, rated battlegrounds, more threes, high MMR, low MMR, certainly some more Frost. Most of what I get is Unholy. Frost is still a viable spec, I'm certain of it. But, just share it out with all your friends, and hopefully we can get some more attention. I'm willing to review absolutely anybody. More diverse content would actually be better. So I would really appreciate if we could get some of that. That said, the more common content is also what more people will be playing. So reviewing it will give more people advice. So that's valuable too. Regardless, that's my little spiel. We're going to dive right into it with DemigodEU from the DK Discord. He's pretty active and pretty knowledgeable, so I'm actually excited to see how this one goes. I think this is going to be really fun. Again, I haven't watched the videos beforehand. I checked to see MMR at the end because I think that's valuable. They're playing it around 2K MMR, DK Druid, and there are some DK Mistweaver games as well. It's EU side, so I think MMR tends to be a little higher on average. I'm not sure what the US comparison would be, NA comparison rather, but probably very similar, 1900 to 2K MMR range. So we'll see about that type of gameplay, and I'm sure there's going to be a lot of good stuff. So this is going to be fun. And let's get into it. So talent choices. Essence choices. Looks like he's rocking my Blood of the Enemy with Focusing Iris Minor build. The reason I run Focusing Iris Minor is because I have literally plus 42% corruption haste from sources. So it makes Focusing Iris 42% better. And when you make a minor 42% better, it generally pulls ahead of the other minors. I'm not sure. I haven't checked this yet. I don't know if he has those corruptions, but ironically, that minor is actually probably not that good if you don't have the corruptions that back it up. Even getting haste proc corruptions don't matter because you're like, well, getting a lot of haste would be good then, right? Well, no, it's the multiplicative effect. Having corruptions that increase haste percent from all sources just make the essence generally better. That's pretty obvious, but and I'm not sure what corruption he has, but hopefully that's the case. But the Blood of the Enemy build, very, very high burst. I love using it into Druids or anything we could really kill in a stun. And of course, I've mentioned a lot, especially on the DK Discord, that Vision of Perfection is also a super viable choice. Obviously, as a lot of people run it. Breath of the Dying is very interesting. Even Conflict Major is very interesting. So hopefully he messes around with those. But for right now, I'm digging the burst build, and hopefully his Druid plays aggressively around that. I think that would be really cool. Looks like he was running Wraithwalk, AMZ, just giving himself some utility options. I'm not sure if he's going to switch any of that out. But we saw one of the haste proc ones. Again, that's not what he needs, but he might have an haste corruption in there somewhere, percent. I'm not sure. I could armory him if I was prepared and intelligent. I might do that. But here we go. So, like the bar setup, an average sim user I can see looking for the pullout on the Druid here. And the mage comes out, he grips the first poly. It seems like a decent starting opener. Generally trying to get a pullout on one or two of them. The A-bomb radius is so wide that throwing it out is probably always going to pull somebody out, and since you want to use it before you engage anyway to get one of your setup globals out of the way, that is a really nice play. So, and he's going to grip that poly in the beginning to both get the mage to him and to stop the cast. So it seems like that's all well and good. This is a short game, so either he gets nuked by a combustor or he wins real fast. Let's pray that he wins. Kills that tentacle, you'll see he click targets the tentacle, kills that really quick. I think he's going to probably get out of this bash here because they have a lot of toolkits and they don't want to just start the game off slow. But you can also see top of your screen the Ardruid rake stunning the mage in the beginning. That's fantastic because the mage isn't on DR. He just used the grip to stop the first poly. Now he's getting raked on the blink, which means Demi is probably going to get an enormous amount of pressure here as most of his setup globals are down. And the Ardruid and the mage are kind of stacked on top of each other. So this is looking like an advantageous situation. Again, to get into this situation for the people who are looking for coaching, because clearly Demigod knows how to do it himself, it's important that you don't overlap anything. Like doing the grip and then stun, maybe not that useful. You're letting your Ardruid open rake stun and having synergy with your partner is super good, because now he's going to have his fix for whenever he needs it on demand to stay active, and the Ardruid wanted to come out of stealth anyway, so he gets to do it with a stun on the mage. So lack of overlaps and good communication probably did this. Obviously we're playing with sound off, but I'm pretty sure they do use comms. So now he should get out of this, and he does. You'll notice he commits the IBF here. The 3-minute cooldown. You'd think that burning a 3-minute cooldown this early in the game would be a bad play. I heavily disagree. DK is something that can snowball pressure, as I've talked about a lot in other videos. Plus, the Ardruid had to come in for a bash to make him IBF, which means the Ardruid's on top of him. So you can see this blood of the enemy going off. Both of them are stacked. He's looking for a clone. That's stoppable. He still has his kick because he gripped the poly. So they're in this huge advantageous situation because of just the way they played the opener. Why sit there in a bash and let the mage tee off on you with Combust when instead you could IBF it? It's only a 30% wall. It's not like it's this huge, immense thing that you need to have or you're going to die. Death Strike is still an ability, even though it's slightly nerfed. Or fairly nerfed. But committing cooldowns like that and getting an opener is probably going to snowball them way out of control. And now my prediction would probably be that they win this quickly, because there's no way a mage kills this guy in 35 seconds. So this is looking like a great start for them. There's that APOC going down. The A-bomb was already in play from before. He's going to drop a few more setup globals and just go to town on this mage while getting the asphyxiate over here on the Ardruid to stop that clone. So they are so far ahead, stopped everything in the opener and using their tools both liberally but also not overlapping them, which is a really difficult thing to do, right? You want to use your CDs, but you don't both want to use all your same CDs at the same time. So this is good synergy from this team. This is clean to watch. Right here, it looks like the mage is falling desperately behind. The mage tempt, he's going to get a little bit of his health back, but Demigod already got most of his pressure out, and I don't know what happened. Either the Ardruid on his team started globaling this Ardruid, or he got hit by a corruption, but I bet you we're going to see a punish play here. You see, just looking at health bars, there's a pet kick on the mage into pet stun on the poly. This is so fantastic. What a great game for them. I'm sure this is probably why he gave me this one, because he wanted me to see it. They have stopped everything the Ardruid and the mage have done for the entire game. Using these, there's so much tools in Unholy's toolkit. You can see this little pet stun icon, very short stun, but very useful if you want to stop a cast that can allow you to get a lot of pressure. Obviously, if he sits that poly, he'd either have to burn AMS, which he shouldn't have to do because he has pet stun, or he'd have to trinket if his Ardruid is messing around here. This is just a way to sustain pressure. He can also get dispelled out of it, but it's slow, and sometimes in twos you want to just snowball out of control. That said, you don't need to trinket all polys. It's just, this is a good way to snowball, and they're taking advantage of it, as you can see by the dwindling health bars on the other team. But this is fantastic. Once again, the disruption capability of Unholy is extremely high, and the amount of small but powerful utility effects add up. So he used Pet Kick on the mage when his pet was getting kited, and it just charged over to him and kicked the first, and then the pet stun stopped the poly, and now the mage can't do anything, and the Ardruid is dying to either corruption or the Ardruid, and a disease probably. And they're both falling really, really, really far behind here, so looking like a W. great usage of disruption and cooldown management. That's block, which means now, and he's doing this, an obvious swap to the Archer here. The Archer had taken so much damage, had to use CDs on himself, but Bark Skin is actually falling off in 5 seconds, and the Mage is really not going to be able to peel because he's using AMS here to stay aggressive. So this is like a Masterclass of what I would probably have recommended against this comp. The Mage and Ardruid either, again, dying to corruption or just playing this so poorly, but he's capitalizing on absolutely every mistake that they make and really shutting this team down. Looks like there's really nothing this guy has available. I think this is probably going to be a kill on the Archer. Even though he has caught and blocked, sometimes he would just stay on the healer, especially with this AMS running. We know he's got 5 seconds of it, right? Because he's not running long AMS. I personally like long AMS better here, and I think this is about to showcase why. The Wraithwalk is not quite as useful as being able to literally prevent all peels for 11 seconds, because there's nothing they can do to AMS. He can't get a re-stealth and rake here. He's already bashed, and IBF cancels out bash anyway, so long AMS is really good, but I think he's going to kill him anyway. Great swap here, great AMS usage. Mage cannot do anything. Grips back on that leap. Now he's Ursuled, but I think Def's advanced through it. This is literally a play-for-play counter of their entire toolkit, and they're doing it well. And the Mage, and it's not just like DK counters Ardruid Mage, though it does do very favorably into that matchup if played right. They're just getting outplayed. I mean, they have other toolkits, but they're just getting answered on everything that they do. They're not playing fast enough. And again, I think he's dying to corruption. I don't know how he's so dead going into that, but that's War Stomp. He doesn't really need to trinket it. Here's where Wraithwalk comes in handy, though I think AMS might have still been up at that point, not sure. But both the Ardruid and the Mage are completely out of options. One stop on that G-Pie, and he can probably stay on the Ardruid, but either way, you see he has full health and full runic power. That Greater Pyroblast is going to hit him down to about 70% health right here, and then he's going to press Death Strike once and heal back to full. So literally, because of their dwindling health pools and the way that he has, no CDs left to protect himself, he can just sit there and let that G-Pia go off. He could actually just hit that Mage, cast this 4-second cast, waste all of his time. He's not able to peel or anything during that period, and finish the Ardruid off. I wonder if that's what he's going to do. No Wraithwalk here. There's a Mind Flay that he's going to kill. There's a regrowth, but it looks like he gets kicked on it, and now both him and the Ardruid are teeing off here. That's good synergy. Ardruid knows when to stay aggressive. He knows the Mage has no way of killing his DK there, and that's going to be the game. So that's what happens when you do the opener correct, when you use your disruption correct, and when you make the swaps correct. That was a masterclass video and kind of some of actually the stuff that I've been going on about in prior videos, and that's how all of it looks when it's done together. And it ended up in a complete evisceration of this team, an emasculation, so to speak. That game, they had no chance of losing at any time, and the Ardruid Mage had no chance of recovering at any time. And still had Zone mocking him here, essentially. You can see the Greater Pyroblast took him to about here, and he got 2 off for free when he was chasing the Ardruid, but like I said, Zone, Runic Power, no chance. Ardruid probably has CDs as well. It's unwinnable. So, fantastically well played game, about 2k MMR. Nothing more to say about that one. I'd love to go on to the next one. That was fantastic. That was really well played. Some of these I just skipped around to see. Let's see how this one goes. We've talked about Rogue Mage a lot. It is won or lost in the opener. You can pull one or both out effortlessly, and it puts them so far behind. It disrupts their opener. It gives you combat. It gives your Ardruid combat. The Ardruid can... Oh, this is a Mistweaver now. This is this Mistweaver game. Okay. Same thing. You want to do all the same things. Mistweaver, not quite as offensive, but extremely survivable, and you'll do enough damage. So there's the pullout on the Rogue. So I spent 3 whole videos talking about how easy it is to pull out rogues with A-bomb and how disruptive that gets to their opener. And with one button press, somebody who's not me validates the entire thing. So fantastic. I love to see this. This is good validation of what I talk about. Look at this rogue. How sad is he right now? He has to cloak vanish. A-bomb right here. applied the wound, but it's also going to immediately apply Virulent Plague, which means he has to Cloak Vanish or he gets no opener. And having no Cloak Vanish as a rogue means he's the target for the rest of the game. He'll never be able to heal himself after that, after you get your disease on him, because he'll always be combat. He'll never be able to drop chains because he's sprinting right now with and he'll have no cloak, so he'll just be sitting in chains and dying. So this just destroys their opener. It forces the mage out early. It's just going to do so much to them. So right here, I would probably Asphyx the rogue immediately. Looks like he got that chains. I hope he goes for the Asphyx right out. It's just going to get the rogue's trinket, which just adds to the list of the things the rogue doesn't have. You may think, well, I don't have a lot of damage for the rogue right now. I'm not even on him, so what do I care about stunning him? But you know the rogue is going to insta-trinket. He can't sit a full stun. He'll get probably chunked to about half health with a grip APOC. And then he's just way too far behind. So he has to immediately Trinket Cloak Vanish, which means you're just putting yet another thing that he won't have. Then when your Mistweaver stuns him later, or you stun him when it comes back up, the rogue is immediately dead. So you've just essentially added yet another tool to your easy list of win conditions. You could just put these things on cooldown. And let's see if he does that. There's the chains, a good play there. Looks like he's opting not to go for the Asphyx. He uses it on the mage instead. Probably not that useful, because mage can get shut down by kicks and pet stuns, and the rogue gets better shut down by just Asphyx. So I think I would put Asphyx on the rogue while shutting down the mage by yourself with just grips and kicks. That's generally how I play it at, whatever, MMR against those very scary rogue mages that play up there. And I think that works out super well. But so far, because of how strong their opener is, he's getting split pressure now because the A-bomb is on the rogue and the mage is just here. How's my quality? Yeah, it's about as high as I can get it. But he's getting split pressure here. This is looking really great. Mage will probably trinket. Now, mage is running Relent. He could have human trinketed, though. There's the Maledict. Turn the sound off. So opting to run Maledict into Mage, he has no way of getting rid of that, so it's just going to be even more pressure that Hollow really doesn't know how to deal with. Of course, I can see it lit up. Of course you IBF this kidney. This is Rogue Mage. You want to blow your CDs early. There's no reason to hold anything. Getting out of everything and keeping the pressure is such a powerful tool, and of course he's going to IBF that. And there he is, getting out of that. The bomb does nothing. Grips the poor ring placement from the Mistweaver, because Blink goes through it. So when he gripped to stop the cast, of course it gripped back into the ring. That was kind of a misplay on the Mistweaver's part. I know exactly what the Mistweaver was trying to do, though, so not a problem at all. But looking like a really good start for them. I mean, there's not much to say after this. The opener went exactly the way I'd want it to. A few minor nitpicks here and there that might matter against higher MMR rogue mages and might not. I think that's how I would personally play it. But these guys are getting demolished, and there's a good reason for that. Good opener play, and good job stopping their ghost. There's the ice block, the immediate swap to the rogue. He has wounds on him over there. If stun went onto the rogue would probably be at like 60 or 50% health here, which would mean a swap to him would be devastating. But they're so far ahead. I have not seen Bubble pressed, and he still has Trinket AMS, so... Of course, the mage has to come out because apparently he's really scared. This is just a showcase of how poor they're playing right now, the rogue mage. Good job, again, for Demigod for taking advantage of the misplays of this team, but this is all wrong, right? He had evasion, still has cloak because he didn't end up bombing it in the beginning, which was a misplay on the rogue's part, but didn't get punished. But coming out of the block there just essentially guarantees that you die, which he will, because this game's about over. You can see it on the fucking timer. So the mage just essentially gave himself up. I've seen 24, 25, 26, 2700 MMR rogue mages completely reset in situations like this as long as the rogue still has CDs. But of course these guys are playing like a mess, and they're going to get punished. And that's what you need to do. So once again, reopening, he has Trinket, press AMS right here and get your disease back on the mage, and essentially ends the game. He pops that Stam Trinket to get a little bit of health, but of course that'll fall off. There's the kick on Polly. Should AMS here, no reason to hold it. The mage is effectively dead. I knew that combust was coming. There's the AMS immediately on it. This time he is running long AMS, which effectively ends the game. There's really nothing they can do. It's a great showcase. I spent hours talking about the openers versus rogues and how important it is to use your A-bomb and your other opener kits correctly. People said it was very helpful. I've gotten a lot of information back for feedback from people on the DK Discord, and now here's a video showcasing how valuable that can be. That is one dead mage. They still have bubble, and there was. Yeah, so look at that. Look at that. That's good. The Mistweaver is 2465. Solid play out of him, I'm sure. Just an unfortunate ring placement, but you know, we both know what he was trying to do, and it just didn't happen that way. Probably a very good player. If this is early, I don't know when this was from. I don't know if it was last season or early this season, but if they're this high MMR early this season, it showcases why he's got such a handle of the openers, because that's a good MMR to be playing at early in this season. I mean, that's insane. Again, I don't know the EU meta and how quickly it develops, and if it's last season, it's a little lower if it was last season, but still a great MMR to be playing at. Awesome gameplay in these first few games, and a good showcase of all the stuff I've been talking about, so it's great to see it in action. That's really good. Look at those suggesteds, man. What the fuck? Horse face. Alright. So now we've got an Ardruid DK matchup. I, again, like the pullout on the Ardruid here. I think that's extremely valuable. Interesting choice going for Lichborn. I'm not sure. Personally, I would recommend that against DK Ardruid. It's more valuable against things that can really kill you in goes, or have multiple things that Lichborn prevents against. It's really good against Rogue Mage, because it stops polys and gets you out of kidneys and gets you out of roots. It's really good against Rogue Priest, kidneys, fears, and, you know, damage reduction on a short cooldown because they both do so much damage. But DK Ardruid, I can't see it. Of course, Ardruids have roots, but that's not really a big aspect of this matchup, especially a mirror. And DKs have a stun on a long cooldown. I think IBF does just fine into that, and then you can run Necro Aura for added pressure. This was the Ardruid he was playing with that went super aggressive, so he might have, you know, Crucible Essence and Moonfire and Sunfire, and it just rots people so hard when you have that, plus your own magical damage, plus the 8%. And Lichborn's downside actually comes into play here. You really don't want to be slow. I don't think Unholy is ever a valuable target, but that's the one thing. I mean, there's been almost no critique points this entire episode so far. It's just been a real showcase of good play. I don't personally find any value in Lichborn here, but, you know, changing the A-bomb and running away from it. So this is interesting. This is already really great. Did not go for the A-bomb pullout on the Ardruid. Kind of just went to clash with the DK in mid and just press change. That's fine. Not what I would personally do, but I'm super duper aggressive. I think this works completely fine, especially with how he is completely outplaying all of the DK's CDs. Running away from him, the DK already pressed AMS, which means he's not going to have that later, and he's not even getting that much pressure out of it because his A-bomb is getting kited with Chains of Ice. You can see that blue cage of ice right down here in the bottom right corner. This is the big fat A-bomb right down here. It's doing nothing. Just Demigod completely outplaying their entire opener. He won't have to use any defensives at all, and the A-bomb is going to do no damage, so that's looking good. Look at that. Now he gets the grip stun on the Ardruid to engage on that. Of course, the Ardruid could trinket and get away here. He's still got all of his set up. This is why I play the hyper-aggressive style, because he's got A-bomb to press, Frenzy already pressed, which is great. He's got one Festering and an APOC, so that is the 3 globals. APOC right here, Blood of the Enemy as well. That's the 3 or 4 globals that will spend the entire duration of his fix. If the Ardruid trinkets, shifts, and dash, she's completely gone, and none of Demigod's opener will actually be used at all. But even if he doesn't trinket, he might be able to just dash out of this, and Ardruid will completely avoid the entire opener anyway. So we'll see. I'm really curious to see how this goes. Again, it's a quick game, so looks like the Ardruid plays it poorly. There's the leap. I'm not sure if he was backing up to grip it, but no, right, because he already used grip in the opener. So that's another thing with having to do the grip stun to get the first go in the Ardruid. you won't have grip for the leap. So it looks like the Ardruid's going to be completely fine. But this game is still looking very small. So the fact that he completely outplayed Gargo's cooldowns in the beginning means that now he can just swap over to an AMS-less DK and put all of his pressure on that. So that's what it looks like he's going to do. Pressing Epidemic too to spread pressure to all these pets. Ironically, that's actually a good play if you have enough pets out, because each one of them bursts damage to those around you. So when you press Epidemic, it actually does more damage than Death Coil, even single target. Of course it does more damage overall, but even single target, it does more damage to Gargo than Death Coil would have done to Gargo. Gargo is a weird name. So he really is putting some pressure in there, but looks like they're both going to be fine. The Ardruid topping both and looking okay. So he is going to look for a swap to the Ardruid, who is got a lot of wounds on him because the A-bomb chased him around. Once again, electing for the grip go, but he doesn't have stun. Ardruid could have shifted a lot more and made him very sad if he had just hugged that pillar a little bit. He would have been completely gone. I don't know how this game is so quick. He just trinketed what? A rake stun? Oh, the Ardruid's gonna kill him. So, oh my god, that's okay. So that's ridiculous. So it looks like the Ardruid was able to pick up the slack and engage on the enemy Ardruid right here with a rake stun, and then got his Crucible or something, Obsidian Claw, some ridiculous PvE crap, because we saw a lot of this guy's health bar getting drained without the DK even touching him. So that's a little silly, but it looks like that's how they're going to win this game. Yeah, the Ardruid is actually just killing him. He's going to get kicked on clone there. Good play. We can see that ends it. He's just falling so far behind. There's the Ardruid on his team gets a re-stealth and rake stuns him again. The DK is dripping kind of low, but they're playing hyper-aggressive. They want to finish off this kill. Of course, that incap is going to break, and look at that. He procced a tentacle. He's going to win to that. All right. So, a little cheesy gameplay here. I don't think the Ardruid got crushed so hard because of the inevitable and overwhelming pressure of the team. I think the Ardruid got crushed so hard because of some really interesting gear effects. I am a huge fan of how he played the opener against the DK, right? Because he enabled himself to play that aggressive, just literally running in beeline at the Ardruid, even though he was nowhere near the Ardruid for most of the game. He was actually just so far off. Generally, I would have to swap if I was that far off the Ardruid, but because he completely outplayed most of this DK's cooldowns in the beginning, it didn't look like he had to play with much fear. You can see his AMS is coming back up at 8, and the Ardruid could take a moment and Swiftmen regrowth them back to full. So they were ahead in that regard. But the pressure itself seemed to come from a little bit more cheesy ways. I think they won that as the Ardruid was not ready to heal through the second wave of damage coming from the healer. Looks like he is running recount. So yeah, you can see his Ardruid did an obscene amount of damage. You can see in the bottom. Can I get this thing off my screen? 14k DPS and 722k overall. So most of this damage is to pets. You can see it's a lot lower. Unfortunately, there we go. The quality was bad. Okay, so let's take a look at some of these things. So this 2.4 million, when you take off the pet damage, turns into 1.3 million. So the Ardruid contributed to, what is that, a third of the overall damage? That's enormous. So that and some PvE shenanigans at the end seemed like they contributed to the win. I'm really proud of the guiding gameplay. I'm stoked about how he ended up using his CDs. But I think if you got a little less RNG and actually, he didn't get tentacles the whole time. I shouldn't say that. If the other team was better at the game, I think just running aimlessly at the Ardruid there would have put you really, really, really far behind. Again, I don't think that kill came from an unfathomable gameplay like the other two, actually. Your pressure was obscene for different reasons. It was much better. This one kind of looks like cheesy. To me. I don't know if just running at an Ardruid who's 20, 30 yards away from you is ever going to net a kill. it's better to kind of just snowball pressure while being able to stay on them and being able to use grip for leaps instead of being able to use grip for connecting. So if you wanted to, you could re-stealth, rake stun. You could have him re-stealth, rake stun, walk over to him in that with all of your setup globals in that regard, and then you would be able to either half stun and then grip the leap and pet stun, and that's how you get some of my rando one-shot Arduid and openers games that we've had at 26, 27. But yeah, that's the long-winded version of you killed him with stupid fucking BFA crap. That was BFA Season 4 is what that guy just got. Or Season 3, I'm not sure. I think it's 4. Yeah, it has to be 4. There's a tentacle. I'm losing my mind. Okay, anyway, we continue. Just as an aside, again, very, very good opener that you complete. I love how much you shut down that DK, but... oh my god, this is halfway through. Okay. Nope, nobody saw it. No spoilers. I forgot I skipped around on so many to try and get the MMR to see if it changed at all. And I still didn't remember that it went from 2K to 2300. Trump Priest, very topical. Missed the chains on that, and he knows it too. So this is not going to be a coaching point for him because he knows exactly what he did wrong. This is going to be a coaching point for everyone else. If you're going to run right by the Demon Hunter in the beginning, especially against the Disc Priest that's sitting out there in stealth and is going to be easy to connect to, you have to press chains on him as you cross over the coffin. And he knows that. He's turning around being like, oh my god, what have I done? But, unfortunate misplay there. It looked like he had a very, very wide margin of error for that, so I don't know how exactly it happened, but it must have just been one of those things. But now the DH gets a free open on his Mistweaver, and when you're doing a race, and you have a very mobile class like a Mistweaver, there's 8 seconds of chains can be really, really damaging. Of course, the DH can just vengeful retreat it, but if you press one more before, while your Mistweaver does decent kiting patterns to have you involved in the game in some way, then the DH actually is very slow for a very long time, because I don't think anybody ever trinkets Chains of Ice. Though if anybody were to, it would be a Demon Hunter. That's the sort of thing they would do. Anyway, tough there. He was trying to go back for it, which also slows down his opener. So you can see now he's in a pickle. The Mistweaver's already getting engaged on by the Mongo class, and he has done nothing. Nothing except for get a trade winds proc that's getting wasted. So very tough opener. So are we going to see the first loss? I'm not sure. AMS would be valuable there. Okay, so this is I think he got flustered by that misplay in the beginning, which means he actually has to trinket this. This is very terrible. He has to trinket this charm now. I'm pretty sure DH versus Mistweaver, when you're not getting peeled at all, is a guaranteed kill for the DH every time. DH is mobile, Mistweaver is mobile. That gets countered completely. And if a Mistweaver is just getting teed off on while the DK is 1v1ing a Disc Priest, the DH will actually heavily win this race from this position. So obviously, first of all, he wants to get the chains. Second, he wants to get the A-bomb down, and since AMS is off the global, just AMS the mind control, or kick it, or grip it, or stun it. Because you don't want to sit that. But since now somehow his brain slowed down and he didn't do any of those things, because he was a little flustered, I could tell. It happens to all of us, believe me. He actually has to trinket this because they'll just lose. The Mistweaver is going to die. So he is going to sit it. So that is probably a loss. You can kind of tell he actually took a shitload of damage from the disc stuff. He got Corrupty Boyd, he got Purge the Wicked, he got Battlefield Focused. The A-bomb even applied Virion Plague to him because he's mind controlled. I mean, now he's 69%, the Mistweaver's 89%, they're both gonna die. He gets half feared, still no AMS. This is depressing. So now they both connect here. I don't know what the Mistweaver pressed. I can't tell, is this the cooldowns he has available or the cooldowns he just used? Did he have to sweep bubble? His UI is a little foreign to me. But now they're both connecting on the Priest. The half sweep is very interesting. If he kicks him on Penance, look at that opener. Maybe I'm wrong. Maybe I'm wrong the whole time. So that opener ended up being really solid after the mess in the beginning. Now the Priest is in a tough situation, but really it's not so much. As long as this Priest does not kick Penance or cast Penance, then he will be completely fine. Rapture is extremely powerful of a cooldown against most things, but especially DK because he has no Mortal Strike. So each bubble is just going to be absurd. It doesn't get absorbed by healing absorption. So they're all going to just, you can see it, you'll watch it in a second. Each bubble will just, is he pressing? Oh, he casted Penance. Oh, he's going to die. Oh my god, okay, shit, too much is going on. Oh my god, that was over. Okay, wow, I have to replay this. Oh my god. I was actually engaged in the game. I felt like I was playing for a second. Okay. It's very possible that the priest doesn't die there, and I'll explain why. Unfortunate misplay again out of Demigod. This game was completely over. Let me see if I can recap what happened. Somehow the guy was not pressing Rapture and casted Penance like I told him not to. It's like he's not even listening to me. So right here, let's slow this down a little bit. So there's the half sweep, presses Rapture, gets that bubble. You can see the Necrotic Strike healing absorption. The bubble goes over that, which makes it harder to kill, but you can also keep stacking Necros, getting him lower and lower. They'll go through the bubble, and when the bubble drops, he'll also still have that huge Necrotic absorb on him. So it's like a weird like fusion of mechanics going on there with bubble and healing absorption from Necro. But you'll see kind of the separations. Health, healing absorb, bubble. You can see like 3 sections of fucking health bar here. And none of it really matters. The only thing that matters now is still playing good and getting the kill. And it looks like he had a totally huge window for that kill, but he missed it. And I think I can see why. Would still want to keep chains on him. I know it's so very tempting to keep pressing Necrotic Strike when he's that low, but you should have him always slow. The amount of uptime you get on your autos, your pet autos, and of course your A-bombs, wounds applications is so valuable that it's way worth not pressing Necrotic Strike for 1 global. He shouldn't be running Freelay like that. Looks like he still doesn't get it off. So right here, this is the end of the game. Let me just make sure. So he has kick available. So you kick the Penance, then pet stun to Shadow Mend, and if nothing goes off, the priest has to die here because his Rapture fell off while he's casting Penance. It is Rapture bubble, which is just the biggest misplay. I could talk for 4 hours about how big a misplay this is. You can see Rapture, the cooldown is still available right there. Literally, he still has it. But he's casting Penance, and when you get kicked on Holy, you can't press Bubble, which means you can't use the Rapture Bubble. So Trump Priest is an idiot and a moron, a terrible, terrible player, and he should be getting punished for this right now. I don't know how the end of this game is going to go, but it kind of looked like he was going to survive, which is really unfortunate because he should lose. But again, hugest misplay in the world. Casting Penance while you don't have a Rapture Bubble on you gets you kicked on Penance, then you can't reapply the Rapture Bubble. You're at literally 17.2% health. You pet stun Shadow Mend and it's over. But something went amiss, and we're about to see what. So he kicks the Penance, which effectively ends the game. And he pet stuns the Shadow Mend. How on God's earth does this guy not die? I'm just gonna, here. This is gonna be a Flark gets coached Flarkness because somehow something happens that allows this priest to live. And we're gonna all look at this together. This is going to be a group learning experience. This is a priest. Kicked on Penance, pet stunned on Shadow Mend, again, exactly how I played it, so nothing has gone amiss so far. 7.1% health with Disease, A-Bomb, Dark Transformed Pet maybe, and no way to peel the DK because of AMS and Lichborn. 49,000 health in a stun, and he can't cast a holy spell out of it, and Rapture's going to end in the duration of that kick. How did this guy live? Oh my god, did he not have runes for Necrotic Strike? There was like 1 or 2 globals where it felt like he was just walking? Was he in a Wraith Walk? I have to figure this out. Oh my god. This is... Okay, hold on. This is insane. I think the lack of chains actually ended up losing him this game if he does. Oh, well, they're probably still going to win the game because, look, no trinkets, nothing available, still low health priest, but generally when a priest tops himself against priest DH, the priest DH always wins. That's why I'm jumping to conclusions, but I shouldn't do that because I'm going to get punished. Yeah, I think the chains needed to be pressed because he's missing the A-bomb damage and maybe pet damage, a few autos on the way there. I think if he had pressed chains anywhere over here, it would have been a guaranteed kill. But everything else he did so right, it feels like he should get killed anyway. Kicks Penance, pet stuns Shadow Mend. How does this guy live? He's in a global. He has one rune. Presses Necro. Does he? Is he running around him? Does he miss a global press? No, he gets it. Unbelievable. What was that, a Vitality Conduit? What healed this guy? So now the Priest is completely topped. So originally I thought when I went back and watched it again, when I watched it the first time, I thought he missed the Pet Stone and the Shadow Mend and the Priest got one off. But that's not what happened. He did it exactly how I would. Kick, Penance, Pet Stun, Shadow Mend, dead is generally what I end up saying. I've said that so many times playing with Jake. I can hear that in my sleep. I've said it so many times. I think, unfortunately, the one issue that I talked about ages ago that I didn't think was going to be, I thought it was a small minor problem that I was nitpicking on, but it ended up being the loss. You have to keep chains on the Priest at all times. Watching a Priest move like that was a little painful. He would have died. A-bomb hits plus wound application plus your melees plus pet melees. Just Priests cannot handle chains of ice. And I think that would have been the difference of the, 30,000 damage that we needed to do? This is the craziest game I've seen on a Coach Flarkness series. It gets knocked too. This game's over. And then Mistweaver's dead. Wow. Just like that. That's funny. I said once a Priest tops himself with Priest DH, the Priest DH generally wins. Okay, so I had some good calls, some unexpectedly bad ones. Again, I thought kicking Penance and Pet Stunning Shadow Mend would end the game. He did just that, and Priest was still able to live. But it looks like it was a combination of some of the smaller mistakes that actually ended up becoming huge at the end. When the DH got a free open on the Mistweaver Monk, that put them really far behind. When the DK got a very slow open on the disc, that ended up putting them too far behind. And since this game was so fast-paced, those two problems plus the missed chains application ended up just those three things. Not enough pressure, and your Mistweaver got fucking evaporated. I'm sure you know exactly what happened there in the beginning. You looked like you turned around for him. You definitely wanted those chains. You're probably saying, what the hell? How did that not get applied? I don't know what just happened. And the missed AMS / kick / whatever. You could have done 1,000 things to that mind control. Probably just a fluke. So I think you know this one. Again, it's crazy to me that you were able to kick the Penance and Pet Stun the Shadow Mend and he lived. I don't know how he pulled that off. He was misplaying so hard. I wish you would have punished him. I don't know how it didn't happen. Trump Priest gave you the biggest misplay ever, but unfortunately you gave him a few freebies in the beginning and they stabilized. That's all I got to say about that one, which ended up being a lot. Which time we got here, baby? 42 minutes? Let's do one more. End on a win, right? Oh, this one is a win. I can't do that. That's spoiled. That's spoiled. Oh, Holy Priest Destro. This is good. No, we're watching this. Oh, it's only a minute? How do you have a minute game against Holy Priest Destro? So let's see. Design choices here. We got the Lichborn again. He likes that. With this Mistweaver Monk. He's running it again. No zone, I guess. It could be good, right? It gets you out of coil, fear, the conflag route, infernal stun, chastise. I just said a lot of things. It's probably a good play. I like the Lichborn pick here. I don't like it into the DKR Druid. That might have just been a misplay. Like he forgot that he still had it in. But I do like it here. This is really good. We have sound on. We're not doing that. So here's the Chastise in the opener. Electing not to Lichborn that, probably fine. It would slow him on his way to the Warlock anyway. So he's just going to wait and get out of that. Press the chains here on the lock. This is the perfect time to showcase. I think I would do the setup globals and AMS on my way to the Warlock. And there's one of them. Unholy Frenzy, looks like. Nope, there's just a global. It's actually lining the lock's initial opener. I'm not sure I would do the same thing, but you know, whatever. There's no harm in taking the game a few seconds longer before it starts. I play very quickly in the opener to try and put people off guard, but it's not like he's losing anything. It's not like they're doing a crazy setup on him, right? He's lined. These guys are over here. Nothing is going wrong here, which seems fine. He is festering, striking the pet, though. A weird waste of 4 runes on that pet. Thankfully, your rune generation is so high in your opener that shouldn't matter at all. But what do you need 5 runes on a pet for? I can understand like whapping a little bit to see if it gets cleaved to death, but 5 wounds? we're gonna skirt on by that one. So there's the A-bomb. Like I said, you don't really need runes that much in the opener because you have 3 globals that don't cost any runes, and here he's pressing them all now. You got the Unholy Frenzy. A-bomb is down. A-bomb's not attacking his pet, is it? And there's his setup globals, so he's going to get that going right now. You can see the APOC, Blood of the Enemy. I do those in a different order. He might have totally whiffed the Blood of the Enemy. I can't tell. His debuffs are a little clustered here, but there is no Blood of the Enemy debuff on the Warlock here, so he actually missed it somehow. That's unfortunate. We don't like to see that, but right now, Holy Priest Destro is a matchup where if you use all your pseudo interrupts right now very effectively in your opener, then you put them extremely far behind, right? Because what he wants to do is press Greater Heal over and over. So if he's misplaying and not doing like a concentrated Greater Heal during your burst, then you can pet kick, grip, stun, para, stun. Let's count that together. Pet kick, stun, para, other stun, like sweep. 5. Did I say grip? 5 or 6. I'm not counting all those again. So many stops. That is so many Greater Heals considering how long it takes to cast to stop. And with Warlocks being slightly nerfed, their self-healing is still fine, but Demon Armor is nerfed at the very least. You should be able to kill the lock in that amount of time if he plays as poorly as he has been, which is currently move to the middle of the map and cast Greater Heal without concentrating and get kicked on it. So far so good. Let's see what else he does. So he kicks that one. I like this. So a weird opener, but mechanically so perfect. Because now you can see a Warlock with negative health. Yeah, he's got Necros on him. He's getting destroyed. He still has wounds on him. The A-bomb's still on him. The pet's still on him. This is just so much pressure that's going to be going to the lock. And a priest that is now kicked because he's just sitting there. So they're punishing absolutely everything this terrible, terrible Holy Priest does. I guess he's just used to pressing one button in the middle of the map and winning, but he's not going to win this one, I don't think. So first it was a pet kick. Then he edges over there. He gets the kick on the Greater Heal. That's fantastic. Now he has grip. 4 concentrated aura if he doesn't fade it. No ward on this priest. Trinket doesn't actually matter because, like I said, all of your effects are just used to interrupt Greater Heals. You do not care if a priest is sitting a full stun. You care that you stopped the Greater Heal. That's what destroys them. So the fact that this priest has Trinket doesn't matter. Every CC effect should still go. It looks like he asphyxiated the Warlock in the beginning. I wouldn't have personally done that, but they have so many stops that it shouldn't matter. Para, sweep, grip. Pet stun still, if you need it. I mean, this is just insane. They're so far ahead. Now you can see he's dumpstering the Warlock. 14%, has Necros on him, 5 wounds. This is everything you want in the opener. Mag is firing. He's keeping the Warlock in the A-bomb range, just getting everything he needs. Priest has been shut down completely. It looks like this is a kill. He presses that Wings because he's panicking hard. He literally got that up at the last possible second. Wings pumps them back to like 25 or 30% health, 35 maybe, after they die. And he was in a kick lockout, so he literally just got that up. And of course, yep, there's that health pool, but still has wounds, still has damage. Just going to snowball him. He can Lichborn this Infernal Stun. Oh, he AMS's it, which means he also AMS's a Shadow Fury. Now we've got that Greater Heal coming, but he is already on top of it. There is the wall from the Warlock trying desperately to stay alive. Very late wall. Let's see what he has. His pet stun available. Mistweaver probably has Para. This is not faded, so they can do anything they want to this. What is he going to do? Rings it. My god, I forgot about Ring. They're going to stop every Greater Heal, and they're going to win the game. There's Holy Ward Concentration. Of course, you can grip out of this. He didn't fade it. Double Sweep. That works too. You can grip the next one. Kicks it. Look at that. The concentrated aura just ended, or the concentrated ground, or whatever the hell that thing, circle, just ended. He was watching that with an eagle eye, and right when the aura dropped and this guy was kickable, he kicked it. A really smart play. Everybody else in the world, you know it, we would have kicked the Chaos Bolt with the Warlock going off, but he's ready for this kill. He knows he has it. He knows they don't have wings or any other instant heal. He knows he doesn't have wall, doesn't have Hellstone, so what's the point of not ending the game right here? I love the aggression, and that's going to end up being a win, so awesome. The priest has no way of healing through this. He's going to stop the... and of course he had bubble. So that play is so smart, right? Because you are using your toolkit correctly. Right now you didn't need to stop damage. You have something that absorbs your entire health bar. And with the life cocoon, it's an instant, and the Warlock is... the Warlock is not going to be able to stop the Mistweaver from getting it off when he's getting his head kicked in. So you didn't need to stop damage. What you needed to do was stop the heal so you can end the game, and that is exactly what he did. Great situational awareness, and he got rewarded. And look at that. That's good. So that is a lot of really good gameplay. I'm very glad I chose to review these next because they talk so much about some of the things that I've been talking about in my videos as recommendations. He pretty much did them all. There are a few missteps, but because his gameplay was so mechanically sound, I had to go deeper into some of those few missteps and as to why, or I would have actually had no advice for him. And if you have no advice, then it's not really a coaching video. So I had to go deep into those missteps to really solidify why I thought, oh my god, that Warlock did nothing. Jesus. The priest did nothing. Jesus. They got shut down. So yeah, I had to go into great detail into why I thought those things might have affected that one loss, or anything else that I would have changed as we were going. The Ardria DK game, again, not particularly sure that would have worked at higher MMR, because he was just kind of just beelining it for somebody who was miles away. But the gameplay was so mechanically sound and so effective to that regard, especially in this last one where you can see he just shuts down the priest for the entire game. It was hard to critique anything else. So really good representation of all the stuff that I was trying to get at in past videos. Great setup, global management, awesome pullouts with the A-bomb, fantastic use of disruption, using cooldowns aggressively. We saw the AMSs, we saw the IBF being committed. He knows when he has kill, he knows when he has to go in for the snowball kind of gameplay of DK and 2s. It was all of those things I've always been talking about. So I'm really glad I did this one. That was really impressive, and I'm glad you submitted them, and should be able to get more types of gameplay for the future. Frost 3s, RBGs if you have them, Battlegrounds, any type of gameplay. We want diversity, and thanks a lot. So, till the next one.